Good morning, Madam Chair and members. Hopefully everyone's excited about this wonderful day and all the great heat we're enjoying. Not. So, I would like to introduce you to Assembly Bill 924. This bill addresses the growing problem of livestock theft in rural California. California's livestock owners have experienced the financial losses from animal theft for decades. Livestock theft impacts a family ranching operation tremendously and can mean the difference between ending up in the red or in the black on any given year. Recent cases have involved grand theft equating to nearly $40,000, and in most cases, those convicted of livestock grand theft receive little to no punishment. AB 924 attempts to deter and penalize persons convicted of livestock theft by imposing a fine of up to $5,000 on anyone convicted of livestock theft by a court. The proceeds of this fine will go to the Bureau of Livestock Identification, which is under the purview of the California Department of Food and Agriculture. This bureau regulates the California Food and Agricultural Code to protect the industry from livestock theft, as well as assisting local law enforcement in investigating livestock theft cases. Along with these provisions, with the committee's consent, we will be also drafting amendments to do a penal code reorganization with respect to livestock theft to place it on its own section under grand theft. This will allow interested parties to track how many people are convicted of livestock theft each year. The cattle and livestock industry is invaluable to California's agricultural economy. As many of you know, the cattle industry stands in California the fourth largest in the nation for cattle production. We should be doing more to protect the industry from criminals. AB 924 will help do just that. Madam Chair and members, AB 924 has received bipartisan support and passed unanimously off the Assembly floor. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Witnesses in support?
Excuse me. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Justin Oldfield with the California Cattlemen's Association. We are the sponsor of AB 924 and very appreciative of Assemblymember Bigelow's efforts on this issue. Just to point out a few additional items, livestock theft to a family farmer or rancher can mean the real difference of going in the black or in the red of any given year. And certainly when animals are stolen, they don't just represent a one-time sale, loss of one-time sale. They represent an investment that's been made into a breeding animal over a long period of time. We've seen a dramatic increase in livestock theft as we've seen cattle prices rise over the last 10 years. And really what this bill does is it brings forward this issue in the fact that I think a lot of rural crimes have been overshadowed cattle rustling and livestock theft in the past 10 years, especially things that are very important and very critical like metal theft. But this issue is one that tends to get forgotten, and it has a real impact on our communities and our members. And then really to speak directly to what the bill would do in its benefit, the money, as Assemblymember Bigelow mentioned, would go to the Bureau of Livestock Identification. They're our state's brand inspectors. In the industry today, branding cattle has a huge place and is still very relevant because when you brand your livestock, that is your mark of ownership. And typically when cattle are stolen, they're done so because they're stolen cattle before they're branded or before they're processed. And so really what this would do was to provide them with the additional resources. That group also works very closely with local law enforcement to do investigations regarding theft cases. And so we feel that would be a huge benefit. And we hope this is sort of the first step in trying to build some consensus on this issue. We understand a lot of the issues facing the state in terms of its incarceration, and so we want to try to work towards solutions that are feasible for us and the legislature together. So anyways, I ask for your aye vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Others?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members. Dan Filizato on behalf of the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. We're pleased to support AB 924. As I said, with the increase in cattle prices, there's been a corresponding increase in cattle theft. Our office thinks that it's wholly appropriate to place a fine on individuals convicted of this type of crime to investigate cattle theft. For that reason, we ask for your aye vote.
Nicole Wortelman on behalf of the Alameda County Board of Supervisors, also supporting the bill.
I'm Matt Seiberling on behalf of the California Agricultural Commissioners and Sealers Association in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there others in support? Are there speakers in opposition to the bill?
Good morning, Madam Chair and members. Corey Salzillo on behalf of the California District Attorneys Association. Unfortunately, we are opposed unless amended to this bill. We have no problem with the author's efforts to combat livestock theft. We think it's an admirable goal. Unfortunately, the way the bill is constructed, the bill decreases the maximum fine available for livestock theft. Under existing law, when a crime prescribes a term of imprisonment but does not prescribe a specific fine, Penal Code Section 672 provides that the maximum fine that a court may impose in addition to any other penalty is $1,000 for a misdemeanor and $10,000 for a felony. So in the case of misdemeanor grand theft, this would be a penalty increase. The fine would go from a maximum of $1,000 to a maximum of $5,000, with which we have no problem. Our concern is that for a felony theft of livestock, the current maximum penalty that a court can impose, a fine penalty, is up to $10,000, and under this bill, the maximum would be $5,000. So for that reason alone, unfortunately, we're opposed to the bill.
Okay, thank you. Are there other speakers in opposition to the bill?
I have a quick question when we get done with others.
Fine. I think that that's the only opposition, so you could ask your question, and then we'll ask the Assembly member to close.
So there must be some strategy. I mean, normally we don't lessen penalties. How many, maybe, I don't know if you can answer this or not, but how many people get prosecuted as a felony versus a misdemeanor in cases of cattle rustling? And I have to say, I apologize, I'm not familiar with your industry. Just saying cattle rustling in 2013 gives me a little bit of chuckle, although I realize how important it is.
Thank you for the question. I appreciate that. The sad part of this is almost nobody gets prosecuted under the felony statute. Everybody gets prosecuted as a misdemeanor. So in order to connect the dots, the only way we can make it work is under this vehicle, the way we've structured it. And it is an increase in penalty.